desafío de nuestro pueblo y el reclamo al gobierno nacional y a las provincias es la lucha contra el hambre. No es posible que nuestro país, que es productor de alimentos, haya niños y niñas
Today we are talking about Perez Esquiveles. Perez was born on November 26, 1931 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. His parents were Spanish immigrants who arrived in Argentina in the early 20s. Perez studied architecture at the Universidad Nacional de La Plata, graduating in 1959. He then worked as an architect for several years before becoming involved in human rights activism. Perez has continued to be an active voice for human rights since winning the Nobel Prize. He has traveled to over 90 countries to speak about human rights, and he works with a variation of organizations to promote peace and justice. He is also the author of several books about human rights, including El Cristo del Poncho, wrote in 1981, and Caminar Juntos a los Pueblos. During Argentinians' brutal military dictatorship in the 90s and 70s, thousands of people were abducted, tortured, and murdered. Esquiveles, to SERPA, worked tirelessly to document this abuse and advocate for the victims of these families. Esquiveles believed that human rights mean more than just being safe physically. He thought that everyone should have a good quality of life. He fought for fairness in things like making sure everyone has enough to live on, getting a good education, and being able to see a doctor when they need to.
Quizás no. Yo creo que cuando nosotros hemos mandado informaciones sobre la situación de los derechos humanos, hay muchos medios que tratan de restringirla y de no publicitarla. Y yo creo que si realmente queremos construir una democracia, tenemos que trabajar activamente para la participación de todos los sectores. Y nosotros tenemos algo que decir y algo que aportar a lograr la democracia en el país.
Universal Declaration of Human Rights serves as a fundamental document for international human rights law. It outlines the basic rights and freedoms that belongs to every person. Esquiveles' work focused on protecting this variety of rights, which are violated in situations like disappearance, torture, poverty, and lack of access to basic necessities. Let's look at some specific examples. Disappearance and torture. These acts directly violate Article 3, right to life, Article 5, prohibition of torture, and Article 9, the right to liberty. Another example can be social justice and inequity. The Human Declaration of Human Rights addressed social justice concern in Article 22, right to social security, Article 23, right to work and fair wages, Article 25, right to decent standard of living, and Article 26, right to education. By fighting for this social justice, Esquiveles was working to ensure these rights became reality. He used the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a powerful tool of advocacy. By pointing out how governments violated specific articles, he generated international pressure and held them accountable for their acts. Perez was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1980s for his commitment to peace and justice, particularly in Latin America. In his Nobel speech, Perez called for an end of all forms of violence and oppression. He urged leaders to work for a more just and peaceful world. Adolfo Perez Esquiveles is highly respected globally for his strong dedication to peace and justice. His actions have motivated countless individuals worldwide, showcasing the significant impact one person can have on making the world a better place. In summary, here are some of Adolfo Perez Esquiveles' most notable achievements. First of all, he co-founded the Service of Peace and Justice, SERPA, in 1974. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1980, served as a president of International League for Human Rights from 1985 to 1990. But most importantly, he has worked directly with communities affected by injustice and violence, empowering them to stand up for their rights and seek peaceful solutions to their problems.
de venir al podio para recibir la diploma Nobel y la medalla de oro.
Jeg er kommet på vegne av de minste mine søsken og alle de fattigste.
Para un